Just finish your recommendation.
I now call this meeting of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association Student Senate to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to begin our Student Senate meeting taking place on Thursday, September 28th, 2023, with a land acknowledgement. We recognize that Kansas State University, as the first land-grant institution, stands on the ancestral lands of the Kaw people. Our state of Kansas is home to 4 federally recognized Native nations: the Iowa, Kickapoo, Prairie Band Potawatomi, and Sac and Fox. We must remember that the land serving as the foundation for this institution was and still is stolen land acquired by white settlers. We pledge our commitment to creating decolonized spaces at the university while advocating for the support and future success of Indigenous faculty, staff, and students at K-State. With that, Speaker Pro Tem Kappelman will take it away with our first roll call.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Atchison.
Here.
Ayers. Bellamy.
Here.
Biggs. Blood. Broughton.
Here.
Bruckner.
Here.
Cup. Koch.
Here.
Compton. Cuesta.
Here.
Dennis.
Here.
Drotz.
Here.
Dunce.
Here.
Fogel. Glasscock.
Here.
Griffith.
Here.
Haynes.
Here.
Hartzell.
Here.
Heatherman. Hoffmans.
Here.
Jacobson.
Here.
Kirchen. Kidd. Kermer. Kinsey.
Here.
Long.
Here.
Lynn.
Here.
Melcher.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
O'Malley.
Here.
Oury. Pelton. Peterson. Porter.
Here.
Rios.
Here by proxy.
Rivard.
Here.
Rodriguez Melendez.
Here.
Rogers. Syat Carly.
Here.
Syat Nick.
Here.
Salmon.
Here.
Streetman.
Here.
Strunk.
Here.
Sushanik.
Here.
West.
Here.
Winger.
Here by proxy.
Wolf.
Here.
And Zacko.
Here.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Brady. We'll now move into our first open period. For first open period this evening, going up first, we have someone from UPC here to talk to us.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy Whitworth. I'm on the Campus Entertainment Fund Committee for Union Program Council. And so what I do is I help plan a big act for the spring semester, whether that be a concert or a comedy act. But we kind of want to get this feedback of the student body, kind of see what you guys want to see for our big act. So here we have a QR code. If you could scan it, please, and give us our feedback. We'll have some bands and musical artists on here, as well as comedy acts. And yeah, and we'll kind of, once we have enough feedback for that, we'll kind of go through our options and eventually present them to Union Governing Board. So yeah, thank you. I'd really appreciate it.
Are there any questions for the speaker? Seeing none, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Up next in first open period, we have Joseph Pondillo.
Are we on? Are we on? Don't set me up. Is she working? Y'all.
Is it on?
I clicked the button.
Do you push it up?
Yeah.
The battery dead?
See?
Is there a battery in it?
I don't know. Make sure it's on. The battery.
Oh, is it on your board even?
On the board. Thank you. King. Okay. Hi guys. I am the Native American Student Body President. I just wanted to kind of ask you guys to please show up to Indigenous Peoples Day. It's on October 9th. It will be really fun. You don't have to be Native American or Indigenous to show up. There'll be free food there. It does say 9 to 3 in the ballroom. You definitely do not have to show up for the full entire time. You can pick and choose kind of what you want. Everything will be in the ballroom except for the dance troupe. I think that might be Bosco Plaza. I don't know. I'll have to double check. But yeah, it'll just be a great way to celebrate Indigenous culture, sacrifices, and a lot of good stuff. Is there any questions?
Emerging Leaders Coordinator Navarro.
Hi, Joseph. I was wondering, do you really RSVP for this? Or can you
Yeah,
just
oh my
show
God,
up?
thank you so much. Yeah, you definitely do have to RSVP. Can you scroll down a little bit? So you actually want to go to, hold on. This right here, y'all can still hear me, period. So yeah, you just want to go to that website. You'll just register. It'll ask, like, are you part of an Indigenous nation? You just can put no, you're cool. You can still show up. We welcome everybody. So yeah, thank you for that.
Chair Suchanek.
Is this something we can get an excused absence for?
I'm gonna go with the no.
Chair Suchanek, I would recommend reaching out to your professors. I know that while probably you can't technically, if you reach out to your professor, there's a good chance that some of them would allow you to miss that.
We did last year.
It doesn't hurt to try. Also, just skip classes and have a fun time with us. We'd love that.
Are there any further questions?
Period. Y'all ate as audience. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Next, we have Noah Clayman.
Hi everyone, my name's Noah Clayman. I'm the anthropology major conducting ethnographic research on SGA this semester. As I'm moving into the interview stages of my research, I just wanted to reach out for any potential interview volunteers as I'm wanting to fully capture the students involved in Senate from different colleges and backgrounds. Interviews last around 20 to 30 minutes. They're not super structured. They cover a variety of different topics. Again, it is completely voluntary, so if you do not wish to participate for whatever reason in any shape or form, then just disregard the little QR codes going around, throw them away, pass them on to somebody else, spit your gum into it. Yeah, so thank you. Oh, yeah, it's also anonymous. Like, I will give pseudonyms for the research, and it's not, as of now, being published into any scientific journal, so.
Are there any questions for the speaker? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, for first open period, if you all would like to come introduce yourselves.
Sure. All right, good evening, everybody. How are you doing? Good. How is your semester going? All right, I'm Joe. I'm the library dean here at Hay Library. It's my privilege to be here, and I have brought some really heavy hitters here. So we'll be talking about some amazing things that our Hay Library has here. What a privilege. Thank you so much. Thank you to the president, vice president, and all of the leaders of the Student Government Association to bring us back from the library, I would like to tell you that we have state-of-the-art library. We have one of the best libraries in our cohort, and that is land-grant institutions of our size, regionally, and I'm going to go and say nationally. It's roughly 500,000 square foot building here made on campus together with our architecture library, with the physics and math library, with vet med library, and then we have a library in Salina, and we have a library kind of like an outlet in Olathe, and working very closely with it. But in addition to our physical resources, we have tremendous online resources. And the purpose of visit today, certainly to keep in touch. If there are any questions at the end, I'll make every effort to answer them. But really to request from you to help us talk about amazing library that we have. I think you are the vehicle that help us get out there. In perfect world, we would go and talk like that to all of the students at the same time. It's kind of rough to get roughly 20,000 students in one place. So we are using all kinds of strategies to connect, social media, email, all kinds of communications. We have trained librarians who connect via various units and departments and communicate, and we really hope that we reach message to you. And we like to reach you a little bit sooner than on the day when your assignment is due. If you do come to us with a request on the day when your assignment is due, we'll still try to help you, so do come. It may be a little bit rough. You may not be on time to submit your assignment. You may miss the day because you may not be able to get all of the resources that you need. Some of the resources require at least 24 hours to be acquired if you don't have them already. In addition to all of those places that I mentioned to you, we also have an off-site storage at the airport that has roughly half of our collection, close to 800,000 out there, so there's an additional resource out there. I'm going to introduce, we have Sunderland Foundation Innovation Lab first. We have Associate Director Jeff Sheldon here, who is going to be talking about amazing place that we have in the library on the first and second floor that has been sponsored by the Sunderland Foundation and it really fills so many needed gaps out there, and I think Jeff and his team is doing an amazing job. And then we're going to have Jason Coleman, who has many hats and currently serves as a liaison for sciences, for engineering, and he's probably one of the nicest and most knowledgeable people that we probably have on campus. And trust me, if you haven't reached out to Jason, I think you really have an opportunity to learn. He has a wealth of knowledge, and he's going to be sharing some of those in a minute here. I know you have allocated 4 hours to us, didn't you? No, okay, I'm teasing you. All right, we'll try to be concise. Jeff, do you want to go first and talk a few minutes about Sunderland?
If the speakers extend your time, then you have
I'll
as
give
much.
you all the time you want, Dean Joe.
Well, you waited until he walked off. But with such flattery, I was kind of hoping he'd continue going. But no, thank you very much. I really appreciate being here. I'm recognizing more and more of you, and that's a good sign for me. How many of you, if you don't mind, by show of hands, have been to or even know what the Sunderland? Holy moly. Okay, that is great. I mean, I can't tell you enough how much we appreciate it. Student government has really taken a chance on us from the beginning because with Sunderland Foundation, we wear their name. But student government had stepped in with the Student-Centered Tuition Enhancement Fund. We're on our second year of that right now. We're moving right into it. Have a lot of big plans on how we want to go about that. And we're getting a lot of feedback from students across campus and really, really appreciate that. The fact that, again, that there's so many hands raised just now is extremely good. When we first started, we had maybe a couple rooms with a few pieces of furniture, and it's been a long journey and a really great one. So if we can advance one slide. I'm not going to read you all these words and all that. It's important to us to have this mission statement, but at the same time, what we're essentially about is about democratization of resources, about digital equity, about making sure that everybody has a feeling of belonging and opportunity. And often that gets said, but we really mean it, and we really feel like we're making a lot of good strides in that. We have a very good student staff, and we try to give them as much governance as we can about running the place. We have a lot of people coming in, especially from curriculum these days, from classes. So it's been getting more and more exciting as far as how much we can put students in charge of this place, how much students can invite other students into the place, and how they can shape it. And the feedback is really helping us. If we can go another slide. one of the new things we've got, I don't know how many people have seen this so far. I know a few, more than a few, have been on some tours, but
Some friendly faces.
this was not a plan at all. No, we recently put together an immersion studio, and this is a space where we want to be able to create simulation, where we want people to be able to explore ideas. It's a place where you can even create those scenarios. We want to work with people to do that. Now, the scenes in there are an early version of it. We're still working on some aspects of it, but it's coming along really nicely, and we've been taking a lot of people through there. So we're going to have some additional work on that coming up. But we want to get into more immersive technology. We're certainly seeing the things that are coming out. I mean, Oculus, Meta today has been announcing things today and yesterday. We have a lot of new products on the horizon, such as Apple's Vision Pro. And so there are things that we want to get into and explore and help people get that early start in and see how that can work in their lives. We also want to make sure that we're staying true to the sort of the community aspect, the human-centered, human-focused sides of that. So while it is good that we'll have some opportunities for games, we got to have that. We don't want to necessarily just delve deeply into that like a lot of places across the United States. So we see a lot of other academic institutions, and they always say, hey, have you played Beat Saber? And it's like, that's great, but that's all they're doing. And so we want to make sure we really get into immersive technologies. We've got some partners we're working with on that as well. Can we go to the next slide real quick? So I just wanted to show some photos of some people in our space over the past year. What we've got going on here is, I was talking about curriculum integration. We have a lot of tours. I think we had 5 tours yesterday. So it continues to be strong. We do have people, though, that are saying that they've seen us before, though, and that's a good sign, too. Doing a lot of different work there. This next one, student wellness, that's something that's very important to us. Now, this top right one is, okay, that's me. And then there's a non-college student there, Jarrett. Jarrett's one of our superstars who came in over summer STEM, but we have our student employees who get to work with students who come in from outside. I'm really trying to stress here the public aspect, because we bring in members of the public. We have different types of people who walk in and have different types of life stories to share. And our students get to both participate in that, witness that, and learn from that. And then around the other ones, you can see some of the things people are working on, like VR gloves, 3D printed. We have some buttons, Legos during the stressful finals time. So anything that people want to come in there, we want to make sure people feel the freedom to fail, because maybe they spent the whole day being told what to do. So in this case, you go in, it's self-paced, but at the same time, we're there to support you if you want that. And then the next one, and then we also do lab and research help. Now, granted, there are some baby Yodas here and chess pieces and all that. People like their baby Yodas, but I mean, we do have people that we have graduate students who are able to do different types of projects that we enable, and that is, again, a testament to the support we get from you. And so if we can go to the next slide. We've got good things coming up. We like partnering with people. So the PowerCat Motorsports, we just took a tour of that the other day, but we've had people from PowerCat Motorsports in our space. I'm an automotive electronics fan, so I appreciate that. We get donations from different places around, like material donations from different people around the university, and so we want to be able to put that back into students' hands. Maybe put generative AI in control of robots, see how you can get that to deliver coffee to different floors. We don't know. We'll try. And then we're working with other partners, like we have TDI, we have Salina. And the importance of this is, like with Salina, for instance, you've probably heard about this $40 million money that just got $40 million that just got dropped on them from Pure Imagination that came out of California. Well, we're on that short list of people that they want to cater to and they want to help with some of the content development on. So having these conversations, taking these journeys, talking with people, we're trying to stay right on the top of things and always be experimental and take those risks. So thank you very much. We appreciate your support, and we hope that you'll continue to give us the feedback that we need to continue to grow and serve you.
And we have Jason now. Go ahead.
Hey Jeff, you didn't mention how much does it cost to use it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, well, for the average person, it is free. Now, we do sometimes have, like, some groups come in and they want to use certain kinds of resources, so we do charge them. But for students, it's absolutely free, so thank you for that.
Yep, it's an amazing resource. I want to just talk to you, actually, that slide shouldn't be there. I apologize for that. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the amazing variety of digital resources we have available, and actually we have tangible resources too. And to discover all of these, you would go to our homepage and use what we call Search It. That is a discovery tool. It will help you if you go to the next slide. I've done a search here for precision agriculture, and it's really hard to see, I know, but if you've used this tool before, it is huge. It's on the scope of Google Scholar in terms of the amount of information it knows about. It knows about what we have physically in the library, all of the ebooks that we've purchased, and it has a huge corpus of information about articles. Go to the next slide.
The speaker's time has expired.
Chair Lynn.
I move to extend the speaker's time by 10 minutes.
I'll be pretty quick, I promise. You can see the variety of information sources that we have here, and it makes it really easy to drill down into what you're looking for. I think a lot of people don't realize we have things like data sets, market research, we have streaming video, we have streaming audio, book chapters, ebooks. We have just an amazing variety of materials. That's not supposed to be there either. Man, it's bad. Okay, we also have databases. Many of these are very esoteric and focused on particular topics. Next slide. Here's an example of several that we have, some of my favorite. Next slide. If you go to our databases directory, we've organized it by the program at K-State, by the department. Go to the next, or the college. Here I'm showing databases for engineering, and we do have, on each of these pages, if you go to the program that you're interested in, you'll see who the liaison is. And the key thing to remember is that's what we're here for. It's my job and several of my colleagues' jobs to help students, and that's what we like to do. If I'm not helping students, I have to do other really boring things. So, and it's not an imposition at all. Reach out, and you can set up appointments with us. You can email us, and we'll be delighted to help through Zoom, in person, however. When you're in a database, you'll often see a Get It button, and go ahead to the next slide. That will take you to our link resolver, and here, this is an example where we do not have online access. That's kind of rare, actually. It's hard to find an example like that. Go to the next. But key thing, keep in mind, we have interlibrary loan. Libraries are allowed to share information amongst themselves, and we have a huge network very quickly. You can get almost anything in the world that you need within a day or two. There are some exceptions. You're not going to get the Book of Kells or anything like that. But anything in the world that's been published almost any time is available to you, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because if you tell your teacher I couldn't find anything, they're going to say, what? You had access to everything in the world. How could that possibly be true? It's free, as I mentioned, and you can get physical items too. If you actually want to get a book just to read for fun, you can do that. Next slide. LibKey Nomad, real quick. This is something we're really excited about. It's a free tool. It's a browser extension. We've been promoting it heavily this semester. What it does, if you go to the next slide, maybe I don't tell you about that. Yeah, I do tell you about that. You install it in a browser, then you go to places like Wikipedia or Amazon, and it will tell you right away if we own that, which is really helpful if you're in Amazon. You'll see, hey, the library owns that. I do not have to buy it. Very, very handy. This is what it looks like in Wikipedia. It makes it really easy to just access our content. Last thing, we have gotten really interested in AI. Everything from ChatGPT to Bard to Claude to Bing to all of those LLMs. But what I'm really excited about are these tools, which are AI-powered research tools, which give a different experience of discovering information. We've been leading workshops on these. We plan to do many, many more for students, faculty, staff, whoever wants to go there. And we'll be having a conference coming up October 16th through 18th, which you are all more than welcome to come to on our website. We have information about that, and you can reach out to me if you have any more questions. So thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Are there any questions for any of our speakers? Chair Broughton.
As you know, academics often present posters. Are there poster printing options at the Sunderland Innovation Lab?
Yes, that was actually a concern of ours. We have a large format color printer there, so if you need to print, in fact, we probably have had a few of you come in there actually. So if you do need to print posters, right now it's loaded with a 36-inch roll, and you can make requests, or if you have your own paper, you can feed it in, so it gives you some options there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Caucus Leader Kermer.
About the Innovation Lab again. Do you see architecture majors, you see them quite a bit, and they take advantage of the lab. Do you see that being an issue with being free?
That's one thing that we've been working with students on is there is a concern that I have about it, yes. Because one thing that the Innovation Lab that we were not expecting in putting it together is seeing how demand had changed or had demand for resources across the university has become constrained. We actually expected some of the richer colleges to have everything they needed, and we see a flood of students from different places. Now, those students in most cases are not coming to try to get free printing, and typically are offering, and sometimes they'll bring the materials that they need to be able to offset that. What we are trying not to do, though, is undercut costs from other places. So there are a couple times where it has been slipping through. I know that there's been some frustration from some folks about certain kinds of changes to pricing structures and such in different places. So we were trying to work with those people to see how we can overcome that. Because the one thing we don't want to do is just become sort of a free-for-all for people. And then we're especially, bless you, and we're especially concerned too about like how does that affect our ability to grow and how does it affect our ability to be responsible with money. So right now that's something we're policing internally, but we do have a few people that have taken advantage of that, and that's something we're going to be very careful about.
Are there further questions for our speakers? Sophia Glanville.
Is there any way for students to get involved with the collections and be like hands-on with cataloging them or getting to know how that works within our library system?
I'll take that one. So we have, there are a couple of ways at least, there may be more. One of them that I would like to promote is student ambassadors, library student ambassadors. We have 30 or so ambassadors who are involved in different ways with the libraries internally, and they're helping us. They are serving as a direct conduit with different student organizations and promoting us internally. And we have scores of jobs. We hire lots of students. We may be one of the largest employers on campus, and we hire a lot. And then we, I'm going to say, we try to keep our starting rate reasonable, and we try to every year kind of add more money to the student labor pool. And then there may be certainly other ways how you can volunteer with us, how you can reach out to us and get involved. If there's, if you need more information, certainly I'm happy to provide it. You can track me down, or we have a library webpage with student vacancies that are posted, and there is a page for the ambassadors as well.
Thank you.
Are there further questions? Can someone defer speaking rights? Chair Cuesta. So deferred.
Yeah.
You can ask your question. Yep.
Okay. How will the Sunderland Foundation Innovation Lab work with SGA and vice versa besides this town hall meeting? Besides, like, how will you guys receive support through that?
That's a great question. Up to this point, it has been mostly incidental. Like we've had different types of sort of encounters. We've hosted different events, but we have not had exactly a very tightly knit relationship. I will admit that I have some ignorance about some of the opportunities about how we can best do that, and I want to definitely find out more about how I can do that. So I would love to meet with some people actually after this if possible. I recognize quite a few of you, and I know I've reached out to some people directly, but as far as how we can build a really good solid bridge and move forward in so it's not just a financial request. And I mean, I even know with the student center tuition enhancement, that's a yearly renewal up to 4 years. And so it's not like we're expecting to be propped up by that for the long term, though it has been really great for getting off the ground. And so thank you. But I do want to have a long-term relationship. I know that we have some of our own employees too that I believe have either applied or have gotten through that might be here. So there are different ways that we are exploring that, but I mean, I honestly don't know a lot of the opportunities that exist. So, but I will make a deliberate effort to reach out from that.
Senator Bellamy.
Yes, you just mentioned that you will get SCTE funds up to 4 years. Do you have a plan for what you'll do after that for funding?
Yeah, I expected this question actually. So this is our year where we're doing a lot of outreach and where we're working with different groups. One of the things that I'm quite proud of is that we got included in the strategic imagining for the university. So we're on the, I got to sit on the engagement committee, and some of the wording that is in that is my direct wording. So my objective is to see, first of all, how we can play on in the bigger picture. Like, I don't see this as just, and forgive me, Dean Joe, I don't see this as just being like a small little department in the library. I see us as a way of broadening the library's ability to reach across the whole university. So we've been talking with different donors, potential donors, I should say. We've been talking with different companies. We're building up our entrepreneurship side. This is the year that I'm really hoping to say that we have latched into some of those options. The other thing is working with some of these partners, with like Salina and Olathe. I mean, they're not promising the long-term support that we need. They've got their own things to do. But by working with these other groups and trying to build bridges between the campuses, I think we've been one of the biggest advocates of trying to say, hey, you know, not just that, but also a global campus. How do we situate ourselves into the bigger picture of K-State and its needs? I really feel like we've made huge grounds in that. I mean, that's not exactly an answer that says this is how it's going to happen, but we are talking with all the right players, and we are making this steps for it. And now that we've shown that we have capability, Dean Joe has given us a new employee, and so that's freed me up to do a lot of that. So I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that. Okay.
Time for questions has expired.
Senator Dennis.
I move to extend the speaker's time by 10 minutes.
Second.
I would like to really thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can tell you I have been in this business for, I don't want to even say, a long time. But I can tell you that this group, Student Government Association here at K-State, is a treasure, is a true joy to work with. I think we have open lines of communication. Certainly, I'm going to give shout out to my buddy Derek Jackson out there, who is sitting out there. He's terrific and helping out, and certainly Dr. Thomas Lane and other folks. I think we have this concept of one K-State already working out here. That is we are being charged in the new strategic planning to think about it. I think as long as we continue this open communications and figuring out, I'm the leadership of Student Government Association knows, previous leaderships and current. I'm open to your inquiries at any given time. Just let me know how things may happen on your end, and we are going to do everything within reason, whatever we can. And I can tell you, we have terrific folks in the library, and we are really hopeful that everything that you experience here is going to mean a lot to you. Whether you go to grad school, whether you go to place of employment, that when you visit back campus, that when you go back to Hay Library, say, wow, this is a good place. I remember good things from here, and I had wonderful experience. And we are part of that story making for you.
Are there further questions? Seeing none, thank you all so much. Are there any further first open period speakers? Seeing none, we will move into approval of the minutes. The minutes were distributed on Tuesday along with the agenda and legislation tracking information. Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Caucus Leader Porter.
I move to approve the minutes unanimously. Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Are there any objections? Seeing none, those will stand approved. Announcements. First, the student issue survey is still open. Please take the student issue survey, as well as spreading it out to any other organizations that you're a part of. Senator Koch and I shared it with our class today, so feel free to share with your class. Ask students in any circle that you're in to take our student issue survey. Second, we are participating in Homecoming. Speaker Pro Tem Kappelman put together an interest form. Please sign up and help us represent SGA in any way that you can. No one signed up, so please sign up and help us. Oh, we now have 4 people signed up. So if you're not those 4, please sign up. 3, take on a mentee. Our emerging leaders coordinators are searching for mentors for our lovely phase 1 mentees that are moving into phase 2. We have some of those lovely mentees in the room with us. I've popped into a couple of the meetings. They seem like a great bunch of they seem like a great group. They're very interactive. Except for the ones that are here, they suck. I don't know. So the interest form for taking on a mentee is in the announcements. Having a mentor is transformational for a lot of these students and helping, guide our future leaders. For proxies, if you're going to be absent from Student Senate meeting, please fill out the link, even if you aren't sure if your absence will be excused. 5, if you'll be physically absent from student but would still like to attend via Zoom, please fill out the Zoom request form. 6, if you want to give props to someone in Student Senate, fill out the Senate shoutout form, and Speaker Pro Tem Kappelman will read them at the end of our meeting. 7, SGA Member of the Week is Katie Zatko. Katie has been hard at work as a member of the Student Services Fee Committee. During the committee's meeting, she's been an active participant and not afraid to share her opinions and give input. Thanks, Katie. And yes, we now have had 2 weeks where the SGA Member of the Week was named Katie, as it was Katie West last week. On the upcoming events calendar. Go Katies. Upcoming events calendar has the times and meetings for all of our committees. And the quote of the week is, "Success isn't about the end result, it's about what you learn along the way." Vera Wang. We will now move into commendations. Up first, we have Resolution 232432. Is there a motion to consider this resolution? Senator Glasscock.
I move to consider Resolution 32.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Will the author please come forward?
Author Bruckner? What's up, dog?
Howdy. All right. Resolution 232432, commendation to Dr. Emzik Kisangani and Dr. Jeffrey Pickering. Authors, me and Jacob. Jacob was supposed to do this, by the way. Just saying. Not calling him out. Sponsors, Bobby Bruckner. Whereas Dr. Emzik Kisangani and Dr. Jeffrey Pickering are tenured professors of political science at Kent State University. Whereas Dr. Kisangani and Dr. Pickering published their book, African Interventions, State Militaries, Foreign Powers, and Rebel Forces in 2021, whereas African Interventions, State Militaries, Foreign Powers, and Rebel Forces has earned praise from the International Studies Association, ISA, in the form of the J. David Singer Book Award, whereas the ISA is dedicated to understanding international global affairs, and whereas the J. David Singer Book Award recognizes an outstanding publication written by one of their members in the previous 3 years. Be it resolved that. Section 1, the Kansas State University Student Governing Association, that's us, recognizes and applauds the hard work and effort of Dr. Emzik Kisangani and Dr. Jeffrey Pickering. Section 2, upon passage of the Student Senate and signature of the Student Body President, oh, he's not here anymore. A copy of this resolution shall be sent to Dr. Emzik Kisangani, Dr. Jeffrey Pickering, Department Head of Political Science, Dr. Nathaniel Burkhead, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Chris Culbertson, Provost and Executive Vice President, Dr. Charles Tabor, and University President, Dr. Richard H. Linton.
Awesome. Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Senator Glasscock.
On line 30, changing resolution to resolution.
Are there any further questions or corrections for the author?
He's a sharp one.
Awesome. Do I have a motion? Senator Glasscock.
I move to approve resolution 32 unanimously. Second.
Object.
Okay, since there was an objection to approving it unanimously, we are just going to go into a hand vote. So if you would like to approve this resolution, you can raise your placard now. All opposed? Okay, that is more than half, so that will stand approved.
clap or?
Yes.
Okay.
Take your placard with you. Andrew.
So that's
Not
the
again.
Second week in a row.
Okay, we have now exhausted our commendations. We will move into approval of appointments. Is there a motion to consider resolution 232433? Senator Dennis.
I move to, I motion to look over resolution 23, sorry. Phrase just yet.
I tried my hardest. Will the author please come forward? Hey Jake, will the author please come forward?
Resolution 232433, the approval of appointments to the executive branch. Authors Jake Brown, Caleb Stout, and Jess Binkley. Sponsors the Senate Operations Committee. Whereas it is necessary to approve the members of the student body president's cabinet. Whereas these positions were sufficiently advertised via their appropriate channels. Whereas the applications were made available to all students who showed interest in the Kansas State University Student Governing Association. Whereas there were 7 applicants for the position of Global Campus Liaison. Whereas the position of Graduate Student Council Representative and Student Athlete Advisory Committee Representative were nominated by their respective committees. Whereas the following individuals have been selected to serve on the basis of their leadership ability, experience, and dedication to serving the Kansas State University student body throughout the next term. And whereas this appointment is subject to the approval by Student Senate. Be it resolved that Section 1, the following individuals be approved to serve on the Student Body President's Cabinet for the 2023-2024 Kansas State University Student Governing Association term. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Okay. The Student Athlete Advisory Committee Representative is Mackenzie Morris. The Global Campus Liaison is Jamie Pack. And the Graduate Student Council Representative is Gustavo Roa Acosta. Yeah. Probably butchered that last one.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Vice President Binkley.
Can you add a C to McKinsey?
Yes.
We got that marked. Are there any further questions or corrections? Seeing none, is there a motion? Senator Griffith.
Move to approve resolution 33 unanimously.
Second.
That's so bad. If you make a motion, just come up and get a piece of candy, is what we're gonna go with. Are there any objections? Seeing none, it will stand approved. So none of them on that piece of legislation are here tonight, but we do have our elections commissioner, so we are going to go ahead and get them sworn in. This was a piece of legislation that we passed last week, but our elections commissioner was not here, so we will get them sworn in right now. You are going to say, "I will" at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Elections Commissioner and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
Awesome. Will you introduce yourself? Name, major, pronouns, hometown, favorite smell.
Thanks. So, hi everybody. My name's Nick.
Go to your mom.
I am a senior in civil engineering. I'm from Olathe, and I like the smell of the Home Depot.
Awesome. We will now move into committee reports. Are there any committee chairs that would like to give a report tonight? Seeing none, we'll move into directors' reports. Are there any directors that would like to give a Emerging Leaders Coordinator Navarro?
All right. Yeah. So we just have the forms open. Go with the form. There's no mic. I don't. Oh, we're good. All right. Go to the form. We have some lovely interns this year. We have, I believe it is 17 that can qualify for phase 2, and we may have also some special exceptions because we're still kind of talking to groups when we were having the Emerging Leaders program, so they didn't really have the opportunity to go the first 2. So anyway, that doesn't matter. Go to the form. If you want to be a mentor, please sign up. We have a really good group, and this goes to everyone. So I'm even looking at you, exec. I want to get more exec mentors in as well. I know. And also judicial, but I don't think judicial's in here. I already spoke with them about it. But yeah, we have a lot of interns or emerging leaders, and they're really interested in having a mentor. This is one of the things that they've been looking forward to with going to these meetings. And honestly, for most of them, this is all they know about phase 2, and they're interested in going into phase 2. So that means that they're interested in meeting you guys. So just because you guys are just great student leaders. So teach them how to lead, guys. All right, thank you.
Awesome. Are there any further directors that would like to give a report tonight? Director Chufchi.
Hello, everyone. So, as I mentioned last time I was here, I'm the Multicultural Affairs Director. And one of my goals is to increase connections between SGA and multicultural student organizations. So, with that being said, we have an event coming up, October 6th. We have a volleyball mixer. It'll be at the outdoor rec. If you're not a volleyball player, we have basketball. But please play volleyball so we have enough people. Which we will, but it'll be great to see some SGA people out there. Like I said, it's a fun, chill environment. No, it's not like a meeting. It's just go vibe with other students. So again, October 6th, 6:30. It's a Friday. Outdoor rec. Please be there. That's pretty much my report. I got some stuff cooking up, so hopefully I'll have more to report next week.
Emerging Leaders Coordinator Navarro.
I'm talking a lot today, so I'm sorry. All right, so Ibrahim, I have a question, 2 questions actually. Do you think it'd be smart to have an SGA team, or is it more of like we're just having a bunch of people show up and then making teams there?
So what we really want in this event is to really it's called a volleyball mixer, so people can mix and get to know each other. So what we'll have people from Black Student Union, Asian American Student Union, hopefully SGA, and then we'll pick the teams there. If we just have an SGA team, SGA people will just talk with SGA people, and BSU people will just talk with BSU people. So what we want is that collaboration, that talking. So like I said, just building those connections. But please come. Free snacks and drinks. Kool-Aid jammers, come on.
Chair Broughton.
I rescind my question.
Are there any further questions for the director? Seeing none, you may take your seat. Are there any further directors that would like to give a report tonight? Awesome. Seeing none, we are going to move into college caucus time. We are only going to take about 10 minutes doing this. We need each caucus to have a representative for TFSC, the Tuition Fees Strategies Committee. If your caucus cannot decide on a representative, or if no one wants to do it, it is the caucus leader's responsibility. We also would like you to come up with one piece of legislation that relates to an issue that is specific to your college. Chair Lynn.
Could you explain what TFSC is and when and where it meets?
She stole my question.
Yes, TFSC, Tuition Fee Strategy Committee, meets every other Tuesday or every Tuesday?
It will be every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday at 5:15 in the Big 12 room upstairs.
Starting on the 10th.
Starting October 10th. Tuition Fee Strategies Committee is a committee that looks at this year College of Agriculture and the College of Architecture, Planning, and Development. And it is making sure that it is utilizing its fee the way that it is supposed to be utilizing its fees. Senator Bellamy.
How long are the meetings?
They're supposed to be 90 minutes, but we never take that long.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Are there further questions on TFSC? Awesome. If everyone could be back here at 8, that would be great. Thank you.
What's your name?
Each of us do 5 votes. I'm on Senate Ops.
Oh, yeah.
Very democratic leadership.
Back the ability to use power nap.
That's like a real question. She's asking.
So right now we're going to sign up.
Jimmy Carter's gonna survive. Yeah.
I didn't go to see that picture where he fell on the stage? Yeah, from all the way to
That candy has your name all over it.
The guy that wrote the book, wait, did you motion?
You have to make a motion. I never realized.
Yeah, make a motion, Matthew.
I don't know what to say.
I motioned to.
Not right now.
Spin the bait.
Later.
I don't know what
I just looked.
Oh my god. Don't even get that.
Well, I had to choose like first.
TV, baby.
Maybe that will say the media does football too. You don't know anymore? Yeah, you still have to go. Okay.
Also, one of the first weeks
You two know you got it, man.
You can't make one of those.
I like 6 feet.
I don't know.
I mean, they want. I mean,
Okay, if everyone could make their way back to their seats. Okay, everyone, we are back, and we are going to move into approval of the allocations. I want to preface this by saying all of the typos that we fixed last week when these were in introduction didn't end up getting fixed in the agenda, but are fixed and will be noted in the signed and final copies. So for approval of allocations, we have Bill 15, the allocation to creative arts therapy students that was referred out favorably from the 6 to 0 to 0. The allocation to the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, that is 6 to 0 to 0. And Bill 17, that is the allocation to the Percussive Arts Society, that was also referred out favorably, 6 to 0 to 0. Is there a motion to approve the allocations? Senator Koch.
I move to approve the allocations unanimously.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Are there any objections? Seeing none, those will stand approved. Seeing as we have no final action or introduction, we will move into second open period. Senator Dennis.
Hello, everyone. Now I'm here to invite you to a show. Next week, my show, my master's project show, thank God for that, is going up in the Purple Mask Theater, which is on the corner of West Stadium. So it is a culmination of a year of work. So you know how Noah is an ethnographer. My play is also an ethnodrama. I interviewed people and compiled those interviews into actually a musical. So I would love to see you guys. I also have my posters, so if you guys would like to take some and hang them around, not in your dorms or any of the buildings without approval, I would love to have you guys take it and just disperse them across campus. I would love to see people at my show. We're gonna have a talk back that is facilitated by Social Justice Alliance. So it's about being queer and Christian and how people reconcile gender identity, sexuality, and faith. I think with the discussions we are having in our current socio-political climate between Christianity and the LGBTQ community, I think this is a really important story that needs to be told, and I would love to see SGA representation there. Thank you so much, guys.
Are there any questions? Chair Cuesta.
Is there an admissions price?
I don't believe so. There's a QR code on the poster. If it's anything, it's like $5. Yes.
Senator West.
I may have missed it, but what's the date and time?
October 6th and 7th at 7:30. So next Friday and Saturday at 7:30.
Are there any further questions for the speaker? Seeing none, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Welcome back, engineering. I did say 8. Are there any further second open period speakers? Senator Griffith.
Yes.
You know what time it is. 7 to 10, room 206, right here in the Student Union, tomorrow. Be there or be square, and I'm seeing a lot of rhombuses in the room today. I will not stand for questions.
Are there any further second open period speakers? Chair Long.
Those that know me may look at me and say, Jacob,
You look ridiculous. What are you wearing?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
My friends and lovely girlfriend have been very supportive of my look tonight, that being not. For the reason, Ørsted, for those that don't know, is one of the largest renewable wind energy developers in the world. They're based in Denmark, and they are currently expanding into the United States market in offshore and onshore. I went today to Marion County, Kansas, Peabody, Kansas, an hour and 20 minutes southwestish of here, to the dedication and ribbon cutting ceremony of the Sunflower 200 megawatt wind farm. So, Chase, we are improving renewable wind energy here in Kansas, and there's now two. So, fun fact, how many rural American homes do we all think a 200 megawatt wind farm can power? At least one. All right.
500.
500. Excellent. Next.
2,000.
2,000. Higher.
10,000.
Close. 17,000. So, renewable energy, everybody. Thank you.
It's the way of the future.
Are there any, Senator Fogel?
I'd love to know the institution's view on nuclear power.
I represent the wind power. I'll let somebody else take this. Dakota, I think you're nuclear for us, right? I will say, Senator Fogel, every major engineering and construction company I know of is currently beefing up and rebuilding their nuclear division. For the future, I don't know about, but I think my position is it's better than coal.
Senator Griffith.
How much money have you received from the wind?
I am not subsidized by big wind.
Are there any further questions?
I'm going to say no.
Are there any further second open period speakers? Seeing none, Speaker Pro Tem Kappelman will take it away with Senate shoutouts.
All right, first off, shout out to everybody for leaving a lot of Senate shout outs this week. Shout out to the front row disappearing. I love the library. Let's give them the entire student services fee.
Yeah!
Shout out to Emerging Leaders Coordinator Navarro for being a dripping hot hunk. Kate does not have a future in the NFL. To me, the shout out form for being such a good form. To Andrew Navarro for leaving his placard 2 weeks in a row. Shout out to Speaker Thomas for being the strong arm of the Senate. Shout out to Kate swearing in her bestie boo boyfriend. Shout out to the way Home Depot smells. Shout out to Speaker Thomas for loving a man who loves Home Depot. Shout out to liking the smell of the Home Depot. Shout out to Kate for stealing the show and the mic. Shout out to the mentees who are here tonight. Shout out to Brooke's lovely laugh. Shout out to the fact that we can all sleep safe tonight knowing Nicholas Saya is our elections commissioner. Shout out to free Kool-Aid jammers. Shout out to Brandon's NASA t-shirt. Shout out to Kate's amazing throwing skills. Carson not getting called on. Anti-Carson rules. Hi Barbie. To the arts and sciences chant, I, Carson Cuesta, love it, and I think we should do it more often. Jacob, you look ridiculous. Shout out to all the rhombuses in the room, everyone but Senator Bellamy. Shout out to the board game club. Shout out to people who aren't squares. Chase cheering for wind energy. Shout out to Wind Tower. Jacob dressing like an ag econ major tonight. And to me, this shout out for being the best shout out of them all. And shout out to Senator Pro Tem Kappelman. Her name was spelled wrong, but it's okay.
Okay, because there is no reference of legislation, Speaker Pro Tem Kappelman will take it away with second roll call.
Right. Atchison.
Here.
Ayers. Bellamy.
Here.
Broughton.
Here.
Bruckner.
Here.
Koch.
Here.
Cuesta.
Here.
Dennis.
Here.
Dratz.
Here.
Duntz. Fogel.
Sorry, I'm here.
Sorry.
Glasscock. Griffith. Haynes. Hartzell. Heatherman. Hoffmans. Jacobson. Kirchen. Kermer. Kinsey. Long. Lynn. Melcher. Moore. O'Malley. Porter. Rivard. Rodriguez Melendez. Rogers. Saya Carly. Saya Nick. Salmon. Streetman. Strunk. Sushanik. West. Wolf. And Zacko. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, is there a motion?
Second.
Senator Dennis.
I move to adjourn this meeting till next Thursday, same time, same place.
Any objections? Have a good night, everybody.
If anybody wants to go upstairs, go get one. He does. No, our journey's not going to begin until like 2 hours from now. We are not going to go to the
Anyone who wants candy can come get candy.